Kyle Schwarber's back there now.
You literally can just pat the ball down.
I'm gonna try to throw the nastiest pitch I can, nix the zone.
The thing that stands out to me the most is literally the past 8 years of catchers framing and learning all that is erased. It's 1,000% erased.
See ya.
And
That's what I was going to cover next. It's that right there.
And that sucks, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the Jeff Mathis, the David Ross. So you could probably argue the days of catchers hitting 200 are over.
That's what I was gonna get. Yeah.
Kyle Schwarber's back there now.
Yeah.
For sure. Because you just
All you gotta do is knock it in front of the plate,
Yes.
and then you're chilling.
you can put an L screen back there.
Yeah. But don't let the ball get by you and have a good throwing arm.
And
Like-
don't call the pitches from the dugout for sure. You don't have to follow through or know anything.
Yeah.
I do think on top of that, what's going to change is the stances that they teach. Because why are you going to be in a stance to receive well and, I mean, maybe block well, but you're going to be in a stance that's going to be more focused to throw as opposed to being in a stance to receive and steal strikes.
So every catcher's gonna set up like the high school showcase catchers. You know what I'm saying? Just literally just ready to send it to second base, and that's it.
it's completely going to change. Like
Right.
all the stances they teach now, all that stuff is not necessarily going to be completely out the window, but there's going to be stuff added and maybe stuff taken away now.
How much of your game do you think is framing, and how much of it? Because there's like certain categories, right? There's framing, there's throwing, there's blocking, and game calling and hitting. Those
Yeah.
are like the 5 main categories. Like, how much of your job do you think is framing? Is it 20%? Is it?
Oh, way more than that.
Way more than that?
I mean, especially when you get into pro ball, like pitchers got to want to throw to you, and that's at all levels. But pitchers request to throw to guys, and like a lot of that has to do with the fact that like you can handle that low pitch and steal strikes off the plate, all that stuff. So I'd say like realistically, that's probably like 75% of what like makes a catcher like who he is receiving. That's what's taken me further than I would have thought is my ability to catch guys. Not so much the offensive standpoint or anything like that, but just solely guys wanting to throw to me because I take a lot of pride in that. Like all my work, like the majority of my work is receiving work to be able to handle guys and make them feel comfortable to throw to me.
You're in here all the time, like catching,
Yeah.
just to continue sharpening that skill,
Yeah,
right?
and I take a lot of pride in doing that.
So if that gets taken away from your value, what do you replace that? Like, what are teams going to start looking at catching and be like, that's the best catcher in the league because he does what well? Like, is it offense? Does it shift to you got to hit 300 as a catcher now?
Yeah, I think it shifts offensively, and I also think it shifts to just your arm strength. Like how hard can you throw the ball on second base, and how well can you throw the ball down second base? And then offense is going to be definitely a big factor that they're going to look into now. It's not going to be like there's really not going to be those defensive catchers anymore because that's out the door at that point because you literally can just pat the ball down, and if it lands in front of you, it can still get called a strike.
Yeah. That's
Well, I think it's to be a utility player now. You got to catch, right?
That's a good point.
I mean, why wouldn't you be asked to catch if you literally just have to catch, right?
Just catch the ball.
John Lester didn't pick for 5 years. He held runners, teach your guys to hold runners, and we'll call the game for you. Just might get a foul tip or two off you, but you literally are asked to play first base.
Yeah.
That's it. You don't got to. You could rip it out of the zone all day long. You can do this. You can do that. You talk about like maybe 75% of your work is like framing. Well, I'd say like 80% of strikes stolen is valued in the draft. That's how you get drafted as a catcher. Is the framing guy, all the stuff. And now, do we not?
They also give run value. I've heard like for every like 7 pitches you stole like out of the zone or below the zone, whatever it was, equals like 1 run, and then like there's weighted value to that. So like if you do it with a runner on third base with 2 strikes and 2 outs in the inning, that can count as like a third of a run and stuff like that. So like that is completely out of the picture too. Like that's not big anymore. It doesn't matter.
Every game, I threw to Roberto Perez a lot. He worked with Sandy, and every game after he caught the next day, they'd be going over the scorecard. How many pitches did I steal? How many did I lose? And like, how can I be better at watching video? Like, okay, this is saving us runs. Berto's one of the best defensive catchers in the league. Won a Gold Glove in 2020, I think, or 19 or 20, one of those 2 years. But like, yeah, all that's gone if you're going to do the robo umps thing.
Well, at this point, like now that we look at it, like Now I just go to my catcher and say, catch it. And now it kind of changes the way I'm gonna pitch to the zone. Like if now we're doing the zone, like fuck the hitter, I'm gonna try to throw the nastiest pitch I can, nix the zone.
Right.
And at the end of the day, the hitter's screwed.
How do you explain a catcher that's sliding over here like this to block Chris Sale's slider,
Right.
and it's a fucking strike?
Right.
How do you explain that?
But I just think there's so much more on the line than just, oh, it's going to be accurate now, right? The position's going to change.
Yep.
Who catches is going to change. Who gets drafted is going to change. You're going to see a first baseman, it's like, he can catch. Like,
Yeah.
just catch, right? So now you're, fuck.
And pitching strategies, hitting strategies are gonna change. Like there's gonna be a lot on the line for this. You know.
You could have 6 somewhat catchers on your roster.
Yeah. So or zero catchers.
Yeah.
And just
Right.
like
Well,
6
like
utility guys. You know?
Exactly. Right.
What about like the catchers? I can't think of any names off the top of my head for whatever reason, but like what about the catchers that have like made their living in the big leagues? Wasn't it what David Ross was catching John Lester? Is that whatever? Maybe I'm wrong, but he doesn't have that preference anymore. Like if the
Yeah, it doesn't matter who
Robo's
catches
in there
it,
because
the zone's
he
gonna be
won't
the
have
same.
that relationship with the pitcher to begin with, because you know when they get brought up they're catching each other and like it won't even matter.
Right.
Because it won't matter if he does a good job when John Lester is pitching, because anybody is going to do the same type of job because they don't have to get strikes. They don't have to steal strikes.
Literally, the whole catching is gone.
Yeah.
You don't gotta catch. What the fuck you gotta catch a baseball for? You
Yeah.
don't gotta do framing. How often do you fucking spend time on catching guys and doing framing drills and shit? It's literally 80% of our work. You know,
Yeah.
we catch pins, do drills and all these shit. Now all that shit's out the window. Just drop tanks and just hit nukes, and which is great. But I mean, like we need to have some kind of balance.
Every pen, I'm like working on that craft of like being able to stay beneath the pitch,
Absolutely.
finding new things, feeling
Right.
new things out. Like, oh, this worked better for this, or this
Exactly.
technique's working better in this situation. And like now, like, I mean, you could just turn on the machine at 100 miles an hour from 50 feet away and just let me catch it. I guess I don't.
Give me a month, I can be a catcher.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
I don't have to
Johnny,
worry
you
about
can
doing
train up
anything
and
else.
just catch anything. I mean, Johnny can do that.
If I can react to it and just put a glove on it, then
Yeah.
that's
You throw a bigger body back there too now?
Yeah.
Like you can
Your
throw a big guy back there.
Salvador Perez.
Yeah.
Like just sit on a knee, be wide enough that you can block anything, kind of like in this range, and just like catch the
drop
ball.
tanks. Yeah, that's all you gotta
Judge,
do.
get back there.
Yeah.
Look.
Yeah.
What's the value? What if Correa sitting on the market right now is like, yeah, I can give you 40 games behind the plate.
Yeah.
Yeah, more value.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know? Is-
Yeah. You pay less to a catcher,
Yeah.
more to your utility guys, maybe. You know, or the way the teams do it, less to the catcher and the same to the utility guys.
Right.
They're just expected to do more.
Like
But-
Kiki Hernandez
Yeah.
could play a legit 8 positions
Yeah.
for sure.
No doubt.
What's that value?
I mean, that
that's a
has-
whole roster change.
Yeah.
25 guys.
Yeah.
Or what if a pitcher can catch?
Right.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's
Go
great.
on. Go.
Yeah, we can keep going on this. That's
Yeah.
A lot of, I mean, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot that's going to change.
that's right.
It's not like, oh, now we got 100% of the strike zone called. No,
Yeah.
this is a trickle down effect. For
Yep.
Yeah, no doubt. And I don't
I
think
agree with
they've been able to think about. There's no way you can think through all of those things.
No.
Yeah.
Because as soon as one thing happens, a team's going to find a competitive advantage this way, another one's going to find it that way, and like stuff's going to start changing. And are those changes that you really want to deal with?
What do you got? You got Jensen, Mariano Rivera, and Percival are all converted catchers.
Yeah.
What if Jensen catches the 8 and pitches the 9?
Yeah.
That'd be tight.
Yeah.
Total capable.